Yeah, there are question marks over him. Like you say, his finishing can be a bit erratic. I think especially, breaking into the box and being one-on-one with the keeper, he's not as strong as when he's striking the ball from range or if he's taking it on the volley. But, amazing aerial ability. He's a good footballer. He's like a really good footballer, which I don't think you could necessarily say of with as much confidence of someone like Højlund when he came off, half a season of regular football at Atalanta before coming to United. He's clearly got great technical ability. My only reservation is do you need that much in a striker when you've already bought players like Mbermo and Cunha in particular, who he has a penchant for taking shots from range. He drives through midfield and is a great ball carrier. Like, I wonder how they'll get on. Maybe it'll be a match made in heaven, but it does feel like a lot of money to spend on three players who are going to be occupying similar positions. But as I've been saying all summer, no matter what happens, United will be fun to watch next season. Like, if the midfield might not get sorted, and United might end up conceding a crazy amount of goals, maybe more than we've ever seen. But with that forward line, I have no doubt that United will be a fun attacking team.
In terms of signings and people going out, yes, it's not been ideal. You look at the number of players that have kind of gone out, but to be honest, it's a great position. Because if you think about it, 1 year ago, everybody was thinking, oh yeah, Bournemouth, they'll be favourites to get relegated. All of a sudden, you look at how much money they got in because of the players, the quality players they got in. Those players have gone out. But Bournemouth are in a great position because they've got loads of money for the club. And also, the other thing is, okay, who's next? Who's the next value player that they bring in, plays well, and potentially could be 40-50 million next season? So I think that's how they kind of look at it. And people always think players going out is a real negative for the team. Sometimes it opens up the space for who's the next one, who's the next quality young player that they'll bring through again. So good position. They need to obviously to replace them, but I think they're in a decent position because excellent season last year. This season, okay, let's go again, because I think they could surprise a few people because everybody's going to be thinking negatively about their outgoings, but sometimes you got to think about who's still in the building. I think Semenyo staying, brilliant. Kluivert, Evan Nielsen is another striker we haven't talked about, but I think he's got a lot of potential. So they've got quality players there already.
Anya made, she made no mistake in letting everyone know at Stamford Bridge yesterday that we're going for the quadruple. I think it's the DNA of being a Chelsea player. It's at the club. It's to win. We don't just kind of leave one trophy to win another. We want all four, and no matter what competition we're competing in, we'll always be going for it. So we're absolutely going for the quadruple. But of course, Champions League is the one that we want.
I think it was a difficult game for us. I thought Port Vale played really well and we weren't at our best, so very happy that the lads stuck the task and managed to I suppose secure the draw, but a lot of the things in the game weren't how we would wish.
What sort of things were they? Would you like to elaborate?
We didn't quite get our positioning right. A lot of time in the first half we misinterpreted where we should be on the pitch, and I suppose from the start of that things can become quite stressful, quite rushed, and we attacked again very quickly in a rush and never had quite enough composure to switch play and get our positions from the wide players correct, and as such then it became quite transitional in nature, and Port Vale looked really dangerous when they did counter really quickly.
Was it hard to get the composure because of what Port Vale were doing, or something you could have done better, do you feel?
I think both. I think credit to the opponents. They were really effective in their game plan. Our game just wasn't quite at the level that it was on Saturday. But we're very new together, and it's my responsibility to show the players the positioning, how to be in the right position that will hopefully make the game more comfortable for them. So it takes a lot of work, and that's my job.
Yeah, when it is a work in progress, is it hard maybe to back up a performance that you got at the weekend? We won again away from home today.
No, I think really aware of the difficult challenge here. I think when you're building something together, I suppose in such a short period of time, it would be wrong to presume that the players understand all the things we're asking for them. They're making a good job of it, but my job is to make it more, I suppose, automatic, that they understand the way we want to play the game, and then the level of performance will increase.
When you made the triple substitution as well, do you feel that had a desired effect to some degree as well? You did manage to get a little bit more ball.
Yeah, I thought we had some good moments, but not enough. The game was quite random, and when we attacked, like I said, there was always an element of not having enough quality in the final third. We just didn't play well close enough to the goal to create the chance, even in front of our own supporters, to have enough goal mouth action. We had sporadic moments where we looked semi-dangerous, but the cross cross was not quite right, or we go over the bar. And it felt to me as if we were just a little bit anxious in terms of that final action, or the final bit of composure to produce a clear goal scoring chance, which would have been nice.
Yeah, we wanted obviously to first game of the season in front of our home fans. So when you're at home and that, you always want to try and win, get the 3 points. But I just thought today we were set up right, and we had the right energy, we had the right temperament, and I thought in the evening game we caused Cardiff 1 or 2 problems, and we might have capitalised on 1 or 2 of the areas that we got into. But over and all, pleased with the group.
Cardiff, you managed to nullify them after their performance at the weekend, but also create a bit yourself. How did you do that?
Yeah, listen, Brian's got a wonderful team at Cardiff, and you know, they play some lovely football, but we knew we had to be disciplined off the ball, but also at the same time was capitalise on some of the areas that we felt that they leave the door open and we could get into certain areas, and we did do that. I said the only thing, if I'm critiquing the team in a small area, was that we could have showed a little bit of composure in the final third and just got that contact on the ball. But over and all, we'll learn a lot from tonight, and we'll apply it for the next game.
One bit where you looked to have had composure with the ball in the net from Mitch Clark, but really tight offside, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, by all accounts, I'm hearing 50-50. 1 minute I'm hearing it's offside, next thing I'm hearing that in the studio they might have said it looked onside. So I've not seen it back myself, but we thought that was the decisive moment, because it was a really tightly fought game tonight, and we thought one effort was going to just do it. And I thought that was a goal, but it wasn't to be. But as I said, the boys stayed on it really from the first minute right the way to the end.
Was that an example of what you're talking about in terms of getting at Cardiff in areas where you thought they could be weak?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought tonight our game plan and how we set up tonight was spot on. They're an excellent team, and we had to be focused and concentrated, but also we had to move the ball and get the body support runners in the areas that we needed tonight, and I thought we did that. It's probably just at the final bit, the all crucial bit, that you need that touch of the ball, a bit of composure that we probably lacked a bit. But in terms of the group and what we've done tonight would have learned loads.
Did Cardiff perhaps get away with one with the yellow card when it looked like a bit of a tackle over the top there on one of your players too?
From the technical area, it looked, I was too far from it, but it looked, it was a high leg. I'm not sure, I can't really say, and I'd hate to say it, because obviously we don't want to see players getting sent off when they're making a genuine attempt for the ball, but I couldn't really see really from where I was.
Overall, you'll take the point to some degree, I imagine, when you look at the quality of Cardiff, but also you take a lot of satisfaction in the way your team did set up, and as you touched on there, nullified Cardiff at one end and also created a bit at the other.
Yeah, correct, and that's why the game plan tonight went almost to perfection. The perfection part would have been to get the 3 points, but as I said tonight, the way the players set up, I've got nothing but to applaud them, each to a man really, and overall a team performance. And we've learned a lot tonight in terms of, you know, what we've got to face in this division, in terms of the teams, and Cardiff's a fantastic team. Brian's got a good team there, and it's a good night's work.